Yo, did you hear? Jaden Smith reportedly broke down during Diddy's trial, and rumors are flying that he might be the secret witness. Jaden's talked about trauma before, but now people think it might be tied to something dark he saw at Diddy's parties when he was way too young to be there. And now he might finally be speaking up. Let's set the stage. Diddy's facing 5 serious federal charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering. Trial kicks off May 5th in NYC, and he's locked up in Brooklyn after getting denied bail. Internet sleuths started linking Jaden's name to the case, with wild claims that Will Smith introduced him to Diddy. Some even say Jaden admitted being exploited by both men, but there's no solid proof of that. While Diddy's kids publicly back him, Jaden's family drama is more about personal controversy than criminal stuff. Jaden's been super open on shows like Red Table Talk, especially about using psychedelics to deal with mental health. That transparency doesn't fit the narrative of someone being silenced or controlled. Still, conspiracy theories are everywhere. Some clips show Will kissing Jaden, which folks are twisting to seem shady, but in reality, their family interactions seem like normal support and concern. Nothing sinister. Same with that moment in 2018 when Jaden called Tyler, the Creator, his boyfriend. The internet ran wild, trying to tie that to Diddy rumors too. One quote making rounds online has Jaden saying Diddy caused trauma to him and Justin Bieber, but no credible source confirms he ever said that. The only real link: Justin. Resurfaced footage of Bieber and Diddy from 2009 looks a lot darker now in hindsight. And since Jaden and Bieber were close, some are trying to connect the dots. Back to Jaden. His discussions around mental health and healing show clarity, not confusion. He and Jada talked openly about psychedelics, intention, and growth. That's not the vibe of someone being manipulated. It shows agency and maturity. Now on to the core of Diddy's case, Cassie's bombshell testimony. She described freak-offs. Diddy hosted drug-fueled, orchestrated sex parties that left her with physical and emotional scars. She said male escorts were paid thousands just to finish on command, while Diddy directed in the background like a twisted film. Cassie testified about being degraded and medically harmed during these sessions, suffering infections, trauma, and developing an opioid addiction starting in 2007. And the baby oil? The feds reportedly found over 1,000 bottles at Diddy's crib. Cassie said they'd go through massive amounts in just one session. She wasn't just describing wild parties. This was about control, humiliation, and fear. Cassie admitted she rushed through encounters just to make them end quicker. She wasn't chasing pleasure, she was surviving. Prosecutors backed her claims with that now famous 2016 hotel footage. Diddy attacking her in a hallway, caught in 4K. Security guard Israel Flores testified that he found Cassie bruised, surrounded by broken glass, and that Diddy tried to bribe him to stay quiet. Even more disturbing, Cassie described being urinated on during one freak-off and said Diddy threatened to leak footage if she ever left him. It was blackmail, plain and simple. Her look, her clothes, even her nail polish were controlled. She was trapped for years. Diddy's team says she stayed for 11 years to become his wife. But the prosecution argues it was fear, manipulation, and power imbalance. Diddy controlled her career, her money, her entire world. Her testimony makes clear this wasn't love, it was ownership. As more names get dragged into this, Hollywood's shaking. From Usher to Bieber, the web of connections runs deep. And if Jaden Smith really does take the stand, this trial could take down a lot more than just Diddy. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts, hit that like, and subscribe for the next update, because this case is far from over, and half of Hollywood could go down with it. Wondering whose name might be next? This trial isn't just about Diddy, it's threatening to expose years of shady behavior the industry has long kept under wraps. During jury selection, potential jurors were asked about celebrities who could be mentioned in court. Kanye West, Kid Cudi, and Michael B. Jordan were among those named, suggesting the trial may reveal connections far beyond just Diddy. For years, Diddy built his rep as the ultimate industry plug, someone who could make or break careers. That kind of influence led to silence. People saw things but stayed quiet to protect their own futures. One major connection already exposed involves Kid Cudi. Cassie testified that back in 2011, Diddy threatened to blow up Cudi's car over jealousy, and the car actually did explode. That takes the case into dangerous territory beyond just sex trafficking. Old footage of Diddy mentoring young artists like Justin Bieber now feels disturbing. In one clip, Diddy says Bieber's hanging with him for 48 hours and adds that while he had legal guardianship over Usher, he didn't with Justin. Given current allegations, that line now raises more eyebrows than laughs. The trial is also exposing a broader celebrity network tied to Diddy. Many who once praised him are now silent, trying to dodge association. The fallout even reached politics. Donald Trump Jr. accused Kamala Harris of being tied to Diddy's so-called freak-off parties, and Elon Musk criticized Jennifer Lopez for not warning others about Diddy when she had the chance. The bigger question isn't just who partied with Diddy, it's who knew what and when. If powerful figures saw the red flags and said nothing, they're complicit too. This case highlights everything wrong with the industry: exploitation of young artists, manipulation, and a culture that protects abusers while silencing victims. Writers like Ty Glauser in the New York Times say this trial could be the start of something bigger, a necessary reckoning for a broken system. While it's still unclear how this will affect the careers of those tied to Diddy, those closest to him might be in hot water, especially as kids. Most have shown up to court, with some seeing this as a sympathy play, but others point out that Justin and Christian Combs are also named in lawsuits, accused of witnessing or even participating in illegal acts. As more witnesses are called, more names will surface. The court will decide Diddy's fate, but public opinion is already shifting hard. In Jaden Smith's case, many are rethinking assumptions. Despite wild rumors online that Will Smith presented Jaden to Diddy, there's no evidence supporting that. Jaden has been open about mental health and psychedelics, offering transparency that contradicts claims of being a silent victim. Meanwhile, Cassie's testimony has stunned the courtroom. She described freak-offs as drug-fueled, degrading sessions directed by Diddy himself. Male escorts were paid thousands, but if their performance didn't satisfy Diddy, they were shorted. Cassie detailed medical issues, including urinary tract infections and mouth sores from repeated abuse. Her most heartbreaking admission? She often rushed through these encounters just to get them over with. The prosecution introduced 2016 hotel footage showing Diddy chasing and attacking Cassie, visual confirmation of her claims. Security guard Israel Flores testified about seeing her bruised and hiding, with Diddy allegedly offering him hush money. Cassie even said she was forced to endure someone urinating in her mouth and was blackmailed with video footage to keep her from leaving. Diddy's team paints her as a willing partner chasing status, but the evidence tells a different story: manipulation, power imbalance, and abuse. Her appearance, down to white nail polish and specific lingerie, was micromanaged by Diddy, and the years of abuse she endured are being backed up by video, witnesses, and now court documents. As for Diddy's arrest, it's rocked the music world. The 54-year-old mogul was taken into custody at the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York City. The charges, still sealed, but believed to involve sex trafficking and possibly even more serious crimes. Online speculation suggests Cassie's video played a role in his arrest. Others think it's tied to the Tupac murder case, where Keith D., a former associate, claimed Diddy paid for the hit. Keith D. has detailed past meetings where Diddy allegedly asked for enemies to be eliminated. Tupac, once just on the periphery of that list, was added after dissing Diddy on a record. Keith D. says he never even got the money promised for the job. These revelations were documented in Murder Rap, a book-turned-documentary that painted Diddy in a very dark light. And then there's Michael Jackson. Rumors say Diddy's former head of security, Fahim Muhammad, who allegedly helped Diddy cover up past crimes, also had ties to MJ's final days. A lawsuit from Lil Rod claimed Fahim was the go-to guy for cleaning up legal messes. One incident even described a shooting inside a recording studio, with Fahim allegedly helping bury the evidence. At this point, Diddy's not just facing a criminal trial, he's facing a total collapse of his empire. Whether he walks or gets locked up for life, the truth is unraveling fast, and he's not going down alone. More names, more revelations, and more receipts are coming. Stay tuned. When police arrived on the scene, Lil Rod claims Diddy told everyone to stick to one story, that G had been shot outside the studio in a random drive-by. But Lil Rod says otherwise. He insists the LAPD spent hours investigating inside the studio, and especially in the bathroom. Yet no arrests were made. Something wasn't adding up. But what truly raised eyebrows? Diddy's longtime fixer, Fahim Muhammad, just happened to be one of the first people present the day Michael Jackson died. Even stranger, Fahim was only 21 at the time, and somehow held the title of MJ's head of security. That role demands serious experience and credentials. So how did a recent business grad from Sacramento State, just a year out from earning a degree in real estate and marketing, land one of the highest risk security jobs in the world? That question has left a lot of people suspicious, especially given Fahim's connection to Diddy and the pattern of influence he seems to wield. Many believe that Lil Rod's explosive lawsuit was the match that lit the fire under Diddy's entire empire, exposing his darkest secrets, from illegal surveillance to sexual exploitation, and dragging a long-hidden network of abuse into the spotlight. With all these lawsuits, confessions, and resurfaced evidence, Diddy's empire is crumbling. And as this trial progresses, it seems clear that this isn't just about one man, it's about an entire industry that turned a blind eye for decades. So will Diddy finally be held accountable for it all? Time will tell, but the walls are closing in, and justice may